8%, but the margins expanded by nearly 300 basis points. We have with us Jaideep Nandi, who's the managing director of the company, joining us. Jaideep, you join us after a very long time. Thank you for joining in. And it's been a turnaround that you've brought about in the company over the last few quarters itself, shifting focus away from ADHO, which is Almond Drops hair oil volumes, to other parts of your portfolio as well. So we'll talk about all of that in a bit, but a large part of your revenues, nearly 85%, still comes from Almond Drops. What's the volume and revenue target that you have for Almond Drops itself this year?
So I think after a long time, for the last 2 quarters, Almond Drops have been performing well. We have actually been working on both the urban and the rural initiatives as far as Almond Drops is concerned, as well as in terms of marketing. We have been looking at some of the new age customers, how do we rope them in. So we started our first ever AI campaign, which has been received extremely well. In digital, we have been doing a lot of work as far as marketing of Almond Drops is concerned. So in the new age customers in digital media, Almond Drops is getting a lot of buzz. And there was always a talk that Almond Drops is a aging brand. What can be done about this brand? So Almond Drops that way has fared well for the last 2 quarters, and we are pretty bound that for the next few quarters also Almond Drops should see good revenue growth.
All right, Mr. Nandi, hi, good morning. Nigel on this side. Well, in value terms, we have the growth number of Almond Drops. It's up by close to 9%. We want to understand how much of it was volume driven, and also for the year, what kind of a growth are you looking at?
In fact, surprisingly, volume growth was in double digits this time, because we had also been looking at some strategic markets where we wanted to ensure that our low unit packs also do well. With the rural not doing that well, we wanted to ensure that we covered rural as well. So the volume growth really led value growth by about 100 basis points.
All right, so volume growth was about 10% odd, 9% was the value growth, and you expect this to sustain going forward, right?
So we expect Almond Drops to continue to do well. We will still keep a watch on the rural markets. Urban has been faring well, as we have seen in the last 7-8 quarters. Rural is showing signs of recovery, but I would still say that rural has not yet come back to what we would expect it.
All right. And, the next growth trigger is the diversification away from Almond Drops. I mean, I've seen you get into coconut, jasmine oil, a bunch of other products as well, non-oil products too. New products, they doubled in last year. A 12% of sales contribution came in last year. This year, they grew 23% quarter on quarter. What do you anticipate this to be in this year? From 110 crores, how much does it go to this year, the new product contribution?
So we have a mid to long term plan of at least taking the non-Almond Drops portfolio to about 30 to 40%. So that's a long way to go. So it's basically based on a few pillars. One of the pillars, as you rightly pointed out, is expansion into the other hair oil categories, namely the amla and the coconut portfolio, both of which have been started doing well. We have been focusing on their distribution as well as marketing efforts. The other line that we took on is exploiting the equity of Almond Drops into skin and hair care products. So we launched 3 products last year: the serum, the argan oil, as well as the soap. This year, we have already launched the lotion and the shampoo, and there are 2 more products in the skin and hair care category. We want to present Almond Drops as a one-stop solution for all your skin and hair care products in the premium range. So that would be an expansion in the next 2-3 years. And the third segment that we have started this year with the launch of henna is the Bajaj ethnic range, which is Indian products, which will be a range of products which will be more rooted to our Indian tradition, where Bajaj, we feel, has a right to win. So that will be the third leg of our expansion strategy as well as the new products.
Okay. All right. Mr. Nandi, just a quick question. This new products, you wanted to go to 30 to 40%, right, of the mix?
Yeah, that's correct.
By when?
Mid to long term, so I would say about 5 years.
In 5 years. Got it. And what is the margin difference between new products and your core business as of now?
So not really that high. So at this moment, the new products are tracking at about 50% gross margin, while Almond Drops would be about 58 to 60. So that's the difference.
Well, that's the gross margin, but new products would require a lot more investment. There is some competition as well, so investments into advertisements and increasing the direct reach, etc. as well. So the question is that what happens to your margins? I mean, yes, there has been an expansion in the first quarter, but this comes on a very favorable base from last year, where your margins fell to as low as 15% odd. What are your thoughts on when do you, go back to your earlier level, or do you ever go back to your earlier levels of 30% plus? What's the margin target for this year, next year?
So this year we are looking at 18 to 20%, looking at a EBITDA percentage by the end of the year. And over a little longish term, we are looking at about 22 to 23%. If you look at Almond Drops itself, that requires a large amount of investment to ensure that the brand premiumness remains. So as far as the marketing costs in Almond Drops is concerned, it still remains substantially high. The new products will mainly focus on digital investments to digital media. So in terms of percentage, there might not be a huge difference between what we are looking at in terms of Almond Drops, which is over-indexed in terms of advertising, versus the new products.
Okay, give us a couple of more details, Mr. Nandi. I think you had a cost-cutting drive that was going about, right? Could you tell us how much of that have you achieved? What is the quantum out there? And also advertising as a percentage of sales, what is it likely to be for this year?
So I'll answer the second question first. So advertising as a percentage to revenue, we would keep it at between 16 to 18%, which is what we have consistently maintained, which is where we heavily invest in Almond Drops. The only difference, only shift that we have had this year is that our digital spends as a percentage has been continuously going up. In terms of the new products, the digital spends obviously are much higher than your TV spends. While in Almond Drops also it is now close to 25% as far as digital spends are concerned. So that is heavily indexed. So 16 to 18% is where we would keep our advertising. Sorry, I missed your in terms of cost cutting. In fact, the cost cutting initiative has been taken all across the company. So a lot of cost cutting initiatives in supply chain. In terms of machine automation in manufacturing, there's a lot of lean practices that has been raised there, as well as in supply chain, alternate raw materials, in terms of alternate vendors, in terms of specification improvements. So that has resulted in this quarter itself, just from manufacturing and supply chain, about 2 crores of saving for us. So this will continue to push, and this is where we feel that a lot of efficiency drive can be done as far as the company is concerned.
All right, Mr. Nandi, then final question before we let you go. From a revenue mix 3 years from now, you'll have to answer it in multiple parts. One, how much of your revenue comes in from ADHO, how much comes in from, the non-almond oil portfolio, and how much comes in from non-oil portfolio? 3 years from now, what's your target optimum mix? And 3 years from now, how much comes in from, digital, how much comes in from real? And at the same time, what should the promoter stake look like soon?
So 3 questions. All of them nuanced, I would say. So I would not really want to give you numbers at this stage for where it will be. I can directionally tell you what we are trying to do. At this stage, as you rightly pointed out, 14% of our revenue comes from non-Almond Drops portfolio. Our non-hair oil portfolio still remains pretty small. But with the kind of launches that we are doing and expected to have for the next 4-5 quarters, we feel our non-hair oil portfolio will, as a percentage, will also have a large contribution. The stakes of the promoter at this stage, as you are aware, is about 39.3%. I mean, I will leave it for the promoter to decide where the stakes has to go to.
But weren't they looking to up their stake by selling some, non-core assets, etc. as well, the Bajajes?
I would leave it for the promoter to decide.
Is there a possibility, Mr. Nandi, you really join us, so, we need to put this question to you. Possibility? Probability that they increase stake from here?
I would not be able to comment on that.
All right. We appreciate you joining in though, Mr. Nandi. Thanks for giving us so much clarity on your vision for the company going ahead. And we're looking forward to chatting up with you rather soon. Don't make us wait for so long. Well, on that note, though, we'll slip into a short break, I think. So on the other side, actually, before we go into a break, let's get you some ideas for profit in our special segment, Money Control Pro.